Time is lights, please.
Coming up on this episode of the 12-hour turnaround cooking marathon. Action.
Is now action? How about starting over?
How about what?
Oh, I like this.
How about go?
Okay. Welcome to the 12-hour turnaround. Tonight at the 12-hour turnaround, we'll be making tapas, which is Spanish for easy to make and very cheap, and also so I've diced some chicken here, salt, pepper, sliced up real thin. We've got some olive oil over here cooking up nicely. My sous chef Jarhead here, hello, has torn apart some lettuce for us. So what we're going to end up with is lettuce wraps. We have some cherry tomatoes cut up, and we also have some mozzarella cheese. We're going to take the chicken, fry it in the oil, add balsamic vinegar, which will add it to a nice aroma, and will also foam up and coat the chicken, giving it a nice juicy texture. You add them all out, make people make their own. I'm not serving you. I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. Serve yourself. It goes well with any wine. We've picked 3 bottles of wine because there's 3 of us. We picked Red Zin, a Cabernet, and a half-drank Cabernet Sauvignon, because we did have to prep this show here. I'm going to show you how to check and see if the oil is ready yet. That means the oil is ready.
So in the preliminary steps of our meal, I've prepared to get ready for Tommy's takeover is the produce. You want to make sure you get some fresh produce normally of the day. We happen to make our own cheeses here, so we use whatever's ready to go. Your lettuce, you always want to make sure your lettuce is crisp, and your tomatoes, you don't want to dice them because it becomes smushy. But if you just half them and slice them, that'll work well. Now on your cheese, you want a good grate on your cheese, and I can suggest you either use a standard grater, or if you have one of the bigger graters, you can do that to shred everything as needed.
Now we're going to start to cook the chicken here. We've got our oil hot enough. Just grab your slabs of chicken here. Place them down in the oil. Do you hear that? That means it's good.
Alright, so now's a good time. You want to grab a wine glass while Colonel Sanders is over there frying chicken. And we're going to go into a bottle of Cab. Reds, whites, it all depends on the meal and what you're fixing. They all work really well. You can refer to our other series on how to select and keep fresh any bottle of wine that you choose.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Jarhead, that's probably my favorite episode we've done so far, is the wine and cheese episode.
And mine as well. I just unfortunately had to re-wash it. I don't remember making it, but afterwards it turned to come out well.
Really, for a low-budget cooking series, it took us a week to shoot that. I mean, that's pretty impressive. A week of wine drinking to really get the knowledge down to put it on tape, you know?
You always want to make sure you tilt the wine glass when you're pouring the wine in. Helps with the breathing process.
I'm going to cook the chicken till it's brown. You don't see any more pink. Pink chicken, no good. People don't like eating that. Well, not in this country anyway. And this is America. This is an American cooking show. So we're going to keep it American. What I'm doing here is, once the chicken's cooked, it's a lot easier to cut. So you use a stainless steel pan, not like those sissy Teflon pans because they will scratch. Take yourself a good, nice Japanese steel that's made in China, and a fork. Just get in there and start chopping it up. And if you burn yourself, just realize that you're an idiot and that, you know, you've just learned a valuable lesson on how not to burn yourself.
But it's good to experience the first time just to see how it feels.
Absolutely. Can't become a chef if you don't get burned a couple times.
Action.
Alright, so now that we have the chicken cooked, I've upped the temperature a little bit here. So we have a nice sizzle going. Now we're going to take our balsamic vinegar and just pour it along the edges. It's going to mix with this hot oil, start to foam up a little bit and coat all of the chicken. leaving you with like a sweet and kind of pungent taste.
Yeah. That smells delicious.
Alright, as you can see, Tommy's now flipping the chicken. You want to make sure it's evenly coated. Now, for all you newcomers that are going to watch the show and are not real great cooks like Tommy happens to be, please know this is done on a closed cooking set, so don't try this at home. You can revert back to the wooden spoon method, whatever you might need.
And our next step here is I'm going to take the chicken out of the pan. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit here, otherwise it will splatter all over. Take the chicken out of the pan. I'm going to leave the sauce in there, the balsamic and the olive oil and a little chicken. And once you take the chicken out, I'm going to put a little red wine in there, which will reduce the sauce down, take anything off the pan in the bottom. We're going to add that to the side as almost like a caramelized sauce that'll go with our leaf wraps here. Cheers.
So tell me, about how long did you cook that chicken there?
About 5 to 10 minutes. Once you start cutting the chicken, you'll realize that it's done in the middle. Alright, so now we're going to finish off our sauce here. We've got the oil still cooking with the leftover little chicken awesomeness in there. So we're just going to add a little balsamic around the outside. That'll really piss it off. On top of that, you just add a little red wine around the outside, which will deglaze the pan for you. Get all that good stuff out. Alright, we'll turn that off, pour it into a little dish. Our meal is ready now, prepared to eat. We expect most people have bars in their basements as well, as we do at the 12-hour turnaround. We most prefer to eat at a bar. It's more of a normal habitat for us and a more natural eating environment. So you take your wine, you take a sip to start with first. Excellent. Cleanses your palate. And you start with, get yourself a nice piece of lettuce here. I like this one right here. Alright. Take a little chicken. Put that in there. Oh yeah, looks good. A little tomato there. Next station. A little cheese. And just a little hint of our balsamic red wine reduction. Drizzle that right over top there. You don't need utensils or anything. You should probably get a napkin because this could get messy. And you just take a bite. Lettuce here. Let me clock at the camera. Add in some of your chicken. Add the cherry tomatoes. A little mozzarella. A little bit of a red wine reduction. A little balsamic glaze.
Alright. Well, we're now finished here at the 12-hour. We've got our muffins ready to go. Got everything ready. Got some hungry mouths to feed. Hanging out with some of my best friends. Hope you have some of those at home as well. A nice glass of wine. So we'll conclude this and say we'll see you next time from the 12-hour turnaround. Sláinte.
History of a time. New history.